Hello. I thought I would discuss today something I recently saw. And it just seems like a little thing, but it does change the word, the meaning. And that is for court. Now, court, COURT, is court. And the reason why it's court is because think about what you see on courthouses, and Lady Liberty is blindfolded and she has these scales that are being weighed. And so that's where you get the sign for court. This new person had just got into a habit of doing court. But this means to decide, think and stay, basically, or think stalwart, so to speak. It's decide. And she just did decide. But that's not court. But she got, and I had made a comment to her, and she said, yeah, court. And so she has just got into a habit of doing this for court. But this is to decide. This is to think, but when you get to the language, you don't usually do think anymore, you just decide. And this is court, to weigh it. Now, also, this could mean judge, but it means to be judged, not a judge, a person. So a person that is a judge is the hand up, the left hand, non-dominant hand up, and then the right hand holding a gavel and banging it. That is a judge. Or your judgment is, and that could be your punishment. That's also the sign for sentence in court. Not sentence, but your sentence will be. So that's your punishment. So decide, court, judge, and your judgment, or the judgment is, or punishment. Or you could say the judgment is you're guilty. That's usually verdict, right? So a verdict is a decision. So the decision is either you're guilty or you're innocent. So, and then you could say, and then your sentence is, which is your punishment. Punishment. I know I should pull this a little bit further back. Let's see if I can smoothly. Punishment. Punishments. Your sentence. So I think I've gotten all those verbs. Decision. I've made a decision. The courts could say, have you made, asking the jury, which is 12 people, which is like this. Or you could spell jury, either one. And have you made a decision here in this courtroom, right? And the judge pronounces the verdict, the decision, which is either guilty or innocent. If they are guilty, then the sentence will be, the punishment will be, 10 years in, you could be a county or a state. So if it's a county, I usually would do county because it's country, but you could spell it to make sure it's not misunderstood, or the state penitentiary. And, whether it's a county jail or city jail or a penitentiary or state correctional facility, it's still this sign, prison, because it is behind bars. So just as you practice it, and sometimes we get into these habits, or bad habit, and sometimes we're, we don't really see it, or we're trying to get it out there so quickly that we don't really, I'll go, oh, that's the wrong sign, and you have to backtrack. And it's because we've gotten into a little bit of a bad habit, or we don't give them a little bit of a time to say something if you're trying to talk to your deaf friend. But make sure you take that time when you're talking with your friends or your family members who are deaf, or you're trying to help them understand something. So, because you wouldn't be the interpreter if you're not an interpreter, right? So, those are subtle things, but they make a difference. Like decision is very different from court. A verdict would be a decision, right? And the verdict is, the decision is. But we're going to go to court, or if you want to work in court proceedings, court planning, and also this is proceedings. It's not really a plan. This would be a plan or a plan. So it'd be court proceedings. And I think this is a short video, but I think that's pretty much it. So decision, verdict, court, judge, verdict. Like I said, I'm kind of going in order is what I was saying. Guilty or innocent, and a sentence, and you will be sentenced to a year in county jail or a correctional facility or a penitentiary, which is still a jail because it's the bars. You'll be behind bars regardless. So anyway, just practice on that. And to be judged is someone is judging you. So that's kind of a different kind of like, it's not they're judging you, and it could be they're judging you. And to be judged, this is the person going before the judge. This is the judge. I'm going before him, stand in front of him in the courthouse. To be judged, you could say to be judged. You're going to court. I'm going to court. The judge, going in person to the judge. And then you could say to be judged is they're going to make a decision if I'm innocent or guilty, So those are your practice words. I will see you later. Bye.